Well, a good Wednesday evening. It's been a while, but I think it's time to do a weather extra because I'm excited about a pattern change. I, like a lot of meteorologists, like when things change. And yes, the weather pattern's going to change, and it's going to go from one that a lot of people find too cool to one that a lot of people are going to find too hot. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the details. Let me shrink myself down here. Now, here is the temperature anomaly, how far from average the beginning of June has been. So we've been through a week of June, and you can see, wow, look how cool it is compared to average up across the New England area, extending down through all of the Northeast and including us. All the warmth has been in the western United States and down south where they've gotten a fair amount of rainfall. Ooh, southern Florida really has been hammered with a lot of rainfall. So where we see this cool, in the Northeast, that's where we're going to flip around and we're going to get some warmth. So let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, let me just jump over here first. Let's go ahead and take a look. This is our 500 millibar heights. And what we have going on is we do have this trough. And let me go ahead and move this. This is tomorrow morning. Upper level low sinking down to our south. So we're still under its influence a little bit. But if you notice when it went from today to tomorrow, it's down to our south a little bit. Heights still low enough that we're going to get a lot of instability, clouds and pop-up shower in some spots for tomorrow, but this is not going to last, all right? I always sit there and say, what's going to happen east? Well, take a look out west. You see this upper level low and this trough swinging into the western United States. That tells me that this is going to lift on out. So let's move it forward in time. And there it goes, starts lifting on out Friday. And then look at that ridge build into the eastern United States. And it is not only just going to get hot, it is also going to get humid. It is going to feel like summer in a big hurry by Monday. And, you know, I always look at the 588 height line. Whoa, I just jumped past something there. Let me get back to Monday here. Sorry about that. So here's Monday afternoon. I always sit there and I always tell people, look at the 588 height line. And the 588 height line, I like to say, you know, once we get south of that line, it is so warm through all levels of the atmosphere, it's hard to get thunderstorms. And there it is. That's pretty much the 588 height line. So in here, I'm expecting really not too much in the way of thunderstorm activity. Up to the north, just north of that 588 height line, usually is what I call the ring of fire, that you'll get some thunderstorms. So I'm thinking not only is it going to get warm, it is also going to get pretty dry as we head on into next week. All right, so let's move this forward, and here we go. This is Tuesday. We're still in that warmth, that 588 height line, still north of most of central Pennsylvania. And then here comes a trough in the central United States. Now, that may actually be a pretty good severe weather maker for the middle of next week. In the middle of the nation, more up to the north. And this time of the year, your severe weather area usually is more up to the north. And yes, a trough is going to try to swing through, but really it's not going to be very successful. Ooh, sorry about that. It's not going to be very successful, and that ridge is going to hold on. So warmth is going to be with us for a while. So let's go ahead and jump now to the 2-meter temperatures. This is an anomaly away from average. And here's tomorrow morning. And you're talking about temperatures. Look at all that green. That's where it's 8 to 14 degrees below average for the day. And we're still a pretty good bit below average tomorrow morning. All right, there we go. And let's go to Friday afternoon. All right, we're getting back close to average. Let's remember, average is in the mid to upper 70s this time of the year. So we're seeing that cool break down. Let's move it forward in time. There's Saturday afternoon. Yep, we warm up more. Let's keep on going. Look at that warmth. And if you notice, with a high building to our south, the warmth builds to the north first. So New England, New York State, you're going to get above average quicker than here in Pennsylvania. But even on Sunday, we're really going to start to feel it. Let's jump to Monday. Look at that. Temperature's a good bit. We're talking now, we're going from a good bit below average to about 10, 14 degrees above average in some places. So the warmth holds on most of next week. Here we go. That's Tuesday afternoon. Backdoor front tries to get close, but it doesn't look like it'll make it through. Look at that. That's Wednesday. I do think there will be a couple of thunderstorms middle to latter part of next week, but really, it is a warm and it is a humid weather pattern Meanwhile, the Northeast is going to flip around. We're going to get warm. And look at the places that were warm will now get cool. So we're flipping the weather pattern around. Here's an interesting look. Now, I want you to look on the scale on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. And this is for today. So today, area above 90 degrees reach, and this is high temperatures, only less than 10% of the nation. Watch what happens as we head on into, there's Sunday. Look at Sunday. 25% of the nation getting above 90. How's that for a turnaround? That's over double. 2% getting over 100. And how about this on Monday? So we're almost 3 times the area of the nation is going to reach 90 degrees on Monday compared to where it was today. Can you say warming up? And it's also going to end up being a dry weather pattern too. And that's going to allow that heat to go for a while. So here we go. Here's the GFS, bottom line, the forecast for temperatures. And yes, it's taken us well into the 80s next week. Low temperatures. And you can see that the lows are going to start to get up there in that muggy range, especially as we head into next week. You notice that dryness? Yeah, not much in the way of precipitation until later next week. So when you get dry, you dry the ground out, there's less moisture to evaporate. Evaporation is a cooling effect. So I'm expecting that maybe this is going to trend up, and this is a pattern that feeds upon itself, and we can get quite warm. Now here's the GFS ensemble, and I wanted to show you a range of temperatures, and look at Tuesday. Pretty warm. The midpoint upper 80s, and I'm actually forecasting 90 degrees here. But some of the runs have us going into the 90s. And the warm weather pattern, well, it's going to ease down a little bit. But let's not lose sight that most of the time period above 80 degrees for the average. You know, there's some cool runs down the road once we get precipitation toward the latter part of the month. But I'm not really buying that too much. I think we're going to have a feedback and we're going to be warm for a while. And here's a look at the European. And it too, switching things around, where today we were in the 50s to the 60s. Look at that warm up as we head into next week, and I expect this to warm up a little bit more. So a big pattern change as we head on into next week. Do not complain tomorrow morning when it's still a bit on the cool side. Enjoy it because, again, that warmth is coming back, and coming back with some fury.